Senator Mark Warner, Democrat of Virginia. Senator, your private warning to Senate Majority Leader John Thune does not appear to be going anywhere, because today Thune tried to turn it on Democrats. He told reporters, quote, "Do you want to be responsible for what could happen if FISA, if we go dark on that program? I just think it's a really risky strategy on their part," unquote. He said, quote, "Obviously, I get their frustration, but at the end of the day, we have to function here. And as a country, we're going to keep the country safe," unquote. What's your response?
Well, my response is Section 702 is important. And I really wonder whether Donald Trump wants it even continued. You could not have picked a less qualified person. Matter of fact, they violate the law because the law requires somebody to have national security experience. This guy's got nothing. The experience he's got, and by the way, the president says he's going to still run the housing agencies. The experience he's got is taking private information from the housing agencies, weaponizing it, and going after people like Lisa Cook on the Fed board and Tish James, the Attorney General in New York. That case got thrown out. So this guy who will do anything Trump says can't keep private information about mortgages. Now we're going to give him the keys to all of the intelligence community. People around the world have got to think we've gone wacky. I mean, I'm less concerned about what he will do on 702 and more concerned about just, will he weaponize the whole intelligence community? And I think I've not had a conversation with any Republican privately that doesn't at least agree with me.
Yeah.
To most extent.
What theoretically could somebody like Pulte, who is willing to weaponize government in the way you describe when it comes to mortgages, what could he do theoretically with surveillance information or the nation's most closely guarded secrets?
Well, he could come up with a fake piece of intelligence as a justification to interfere with the elections. By the way, this 6-month time puts him right through the elections. He could take, especially if the president keeps his weaponization fund, that might not only pay off the January 6 rioters, but pay off people that would then interfere in the elections. I don't think you get any peep from out of Bill Pulte on that. It is almost unimaginable, beyond the fact of what it would mean to any of our remaining, like our Five Eyes, the closest allies we have, that you think they're really going to share information with a guy like this? So this does not make America safer in any category. And while I believe 702 is important, it's really hard for me to make a case to any Democrat that while this guy has the keys to all of our intelligence, that 702, as critical as it is, should be extended.
Yeah. So,
even though we put reforms in place.
So clearly, if Trump does not change his mind on Pulte by the time this FISA program for the government expires, Section 702, you will deny the votes to pass the extension for FISA?
Jake, keeping FISA alive is extraordinarily serious. The downsides of that, I've voted for this, on whether Obama, Biden, Trump, it's critical. But it's going to be awful hard for me to ask my Democratic colleagues to step up. We got a few days. I mean, there'll be a procedural vote tomorrow, only the majority, so it's not the required 60. Doesn't really need Democrats. So let's see what happens. I just hope cooler heads will. I wish somebody in the White House would say, go to the emperor, Donald Trump, on this one and say, on this one you got no clothes. But I don't know whether anyone has the courage to actually step up for our national security.
You mentioned the so-called anti-weaponization fund. President Trump is suggesting that he's not dropping it, despite Todd Blanche saying that they are not moving forward. I know Senator Thom Tillis, Republican of North Carolina, is considering introducing an amendment to kill that fund. What else are you hearing from Republican colleagues?
Well, listen, we're going to go into one of the craziest things we do up here in the Senate, called Votorama tomorrow. So your viewers can tune in and watch us go through many, many amendments on my Republicans putting billions of dollars more into ICE, which I don't think we need without reforms. But we'll have a chance to raise all kinds of amendments. And all my Republican friends who say, hey, we think this idea stinks, well, let's put it in law. And if Thom Tillis does it, Democrats do it, I hope it would extend not only to the fund, but remember, the other thing the president doesn't talk about on this, he got a get-out-of-jail-free card from the tax department, from the IRS, for any past or future misdeeds. That may be as valuable to him with his record as the weaponization fund. Both need to end.
Democratic Senator Mark Warner, the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee. Thank you so much, sir.